Welcome everyone to this online retreat. We call these retreats All is Possible because we want everyone to know that all is possible. It's pretty clear, okay? And we'll be sharing what that means for us. But before we get started, we would love to know where everyone is connecting from. So before we started recording, some have already shared that. You can use the chat box. So we've got Swana, she's one of our life mentors. She's from Wales, the UK. Then we've got Kina, another life mentor from Oregon. Simbel, also a life mentor in our community from sunny California, she says. Charlotte from Lancashire, England. Jose from Ireland. Yoni from Long Island, New York. What else do we have here? Fatima from UK, Ashaya from Maryland, Sula from Nepal, beautiful. Fatima, there's another Fatima from Turkey, Shailen from Germany. We are Gaitana Yantal, we are in the Dominican Republic, Samaná, a beautiful place. Robin, United States. Jeffrey from New Jersey. I love this. Okay. Okay, so we're ready to get started. I'll introduce myself very briefly. I'm Gaitana, and together with Yantal, you will see Yantal on the other camera. There he is. We are a divine union. We serve together. I'm the one on camera because I speak English and I tend to do the trainings and the retreats. And what we teach is Enlightened Education. Those are our tools and teachings. We received a whole curriculum from the Ascended Masters. And we call it Enlightened Education because we need to educate the soul for enlightenment and ascension in the age of Aquarius. And basically what we teach in our curriculum is how to prosper according to your divine plan. We all have a soul plan or a divine plan. We have to respect it if we want to make progress on our spiritual path and in life. So we teach how to manifest with purpose. We all have creative energy, and every person on planet Earth is creating something, but not necessarily something beneficial and constructive, okay? So we require tools to be aligning ourselves with God's will and God's way, to make sure that we don't waste our creative energy, and all that we are doing is benefiting all sentient beings. What we have seen in many people, and it's maybe 90%, 95% of humanity, is that most people have disconnected from their desire to prosper. Have you seen that most people have disconnected from the desire to prosper? They have given up. They don't know that all is possible. They have maybe fallen into patterns of depression or impossibility or what we call the failure mindset. So our teachings help in many ways, but as we reconnect with spirit, with our God self, with our presence, we start reconnecting with the value of life. We start remembering that we can all make a difference. And it's not just wishful thinking. We have to, of course, get prepared to make a difference. But there's something very valuable in all of us, right? So the first thing we would love to share with you is the inspiration, maybe, that all is possible, you can make a difference. And if you have, for many reasons, disconnected from the desire to advance on a soul level, maybe, hopefully, we can give you tools today and a release of energy so that you reconnect with that desire to make something valuable with your life. Yeah. So all these teachings of Enlightened Education will help you remember your true purpose. Most people don't know who they are or what they are here for, and also to unlock your divine potential. That's very important. In order to make a difference, we have to be functioning from our higher self. We call that the divine potential in all of us. We all have it, but it might have been inhibited or suppressed or blocked for many reasons we will discover today. So the important thing about our teachings, because we are a community focused on liberation and enlightenment and ascension, ultimately, is that it is a soul-based curriculum. We don't share academic teachings. It's a soul-based curriculum. It's to awaken your real self. Do you all know that you have a real self and an unreal self, a personality that you have all created to survive here on Earth? So the whole purpose is to go back to our essence. It's not that easy sometimes because we have identified with a wrong belief system, and there are ancestral and karmic energies in all of us that we have to know how to dissolve and how to master our true self, but that's possible. So our curriculum, our teachings prepare the ones who desire to serve and to help others be victorious. We all have blockages and we all feel at times that life is too much because we don't know how to make progress and overcome and break through certain patterns. But I'm assuming that all the ones who connected to this retreat today, you all have a desire to serve. You all have a desire to bring something of the light to all the people you love, to your families, to your friends, to your communities, to the world, and that can be awakened, okay? So we are here challenging the defeat mindset so that you all know that all is possible. And to accelerate the soul advancement, the soul is here in embodiment because she wants to make progress, to advance, to learn more, to become wiser and more compassionate. For that, we have to, as I was saying before, dissolve karmic imprints. We all have made karma, and we are here to resolve that, and ancestral blockages. It's what we call the shadow energy, yes? So we all have the real self, our light that can be amplified, but we have the shadow aspect, yeah? And we can challenge that, we can illuminate that, and there are tools to transmute that energy to turn the shadow into light. And that's how we create reality in the higher frequencies. So as we start today, we always ask for your intentions. We will all set individual and collective intentions for this retreat. Setting intentions means that you become aware of why you are here, what you want more energy for, how you will use and direct that energy in a creative way. So I'll give you just a minute, 2 minutes maybe, to first write down on a piece of paper for yourselves what your intention is. What do you want to discover in these 2 hours with us? Of course, it's not your personality that brought you here. It's your higher self that brought you here. So take a few moments to reveal why you have decided to be 2 hours with this community. So what is possible because you already intuit that in your heart? You don't have to make up that intention with the mind. You already know in your heart that something is possible for you, and maybe you don't know how to become that or to manifest that. So what is possible? And you already know that. And for the ones who share that on the chat box, you can write your intention, because this retreat is the combination of all your intentions. That's where the energy will go to, okay? Of course, intentions have to be constructive. So the first intention is to embody joy, then to unlock my divine plan, to spread my light and love into the world. Beautiful. Nourish my soul, continue to purify and amplify the light. Amazing. To find the key to what holds me back from fully embodying joy. So joy again. My purpose to join this retreat is to find my best self within me, which is still unexplored, and be the happiest. Beautiful. To embody love and unity and to share these frequencies with all. Okay. I'll give you 1 more minute to type in your intentions. What should I do to achieve my goals and how to love myself? To discover that. Of course, we can plant a few seeds today. Not everything can be accomplished in 2 hours, of course, but you will start discovering how. I will share foundational tools to start your healing journey. Elena says to indulge in a more meditative zone that brings serenity and acceptance. Amazing. Embody as much love as possible. To help me get closer to my life mission by healing any reminiscent of past trauma left. Beautiful. Due to constant failures I am facing since 1 year, my willingness and motivation to work is slowly fading. At the same time, I am getting mentally disturbed. With the session, I want to find a way to feel happy, joy for what I have, and gain my confidence back. Amazing. To amplify my love light, even in the face of others' emotions that sometimes I feel as my own, and reach harmonious equilibrium for all. Beautiful intention. My intention is to find out my purpose in life, certain courses I desire to enroll on, like shamanic healing and Ayurveda, but the blockage in finances. Aligning with the presence. By the presence, we mean the I am, the God self. Okay, we've got enough intentions to get started, I think. So these are the individual intentions, your personal intentions. We always have a collective intentions for creating these online retreats. By the way, this is All is Possible number 5. We have done 4 previous online retreats, which you can go back to, though it's not necessary. So the general purpose for these retreats is to help you align with what we call the Aquarian consciousness. You may all be aware of the fact that we are transitioning from the age of Pisces 2000 years ago, and now we are moving into the age of Aquarius. So we're moving from the teachings of Jesus. He was the hierarch of the Piscean age. And now we are starting the Aquarian age with Saint Germain. This is the age of alchemy, transmutation, deep healing, and the age of the violet flame. The violet flame is a tool that starts dissolving ancestral karmic patterns so that you can do the alchemy faster and start creating in the light. So we offer a path that is called the path of the 12 rays. Is to have 12 frequencies, and we mentor with Ascended Masters for that, 12 frequencies that bring us back to our essence, purpose, and mission. And the whole purpose is that we can all become divine creators of reality, not victims of reality, that we can transcend the victim poverty mindset. I'm not good enough, I'll never make it, life is hard, and I have to struggle. That's all the poverty mindset. Has nothing to do with money. It's how we feel. It's an inner attitude, if we feel poor or abundant. And it's also the age of network, of light networks. That's why communities are becoming very important in the age of Aquarius, because we are understanding that individually we can't overcome, we can't break through, and we need the help of communities to do that. So we're moving from codependency to co-creation, and we need teachings for that. And we are stepping into an age of enlightened activity. It means that all that we create is with purpose, and it's to benefit all of humanity, right? So there's an album, a music album that we have created for the ones who are new, and maybe you want to start connecting with our community in some way. The album is called Welcome to the Temple of 12, these 12 rays I'm talking about. And sometimes music is the best way to connect with your higher self. Sometimes we are intoxicated by noise and broken music and broken rhythms, and that is not very beneficial for the soul, because we create more confusion for the soul and less clarity. So good quality, high vibrational music is an easy way in which we can reconnect with our soul. We can start remembering, we can start dissolving layers of the personality that are blocking our connection to source. So if someone of the team can type in the link to that album, it's also a great contribution The one who created the album with us is Shailen. Can you say hi, Shailen? She's a life mentor in our community, but also a musician. And these are original tracks. It's an original album only for our community, in the sense that it's interwoven with our teachings. When you listen to the album, you'll start receiving messages sometimes, or direction from the Ascended Masters. And it's one possible first step to connect with your soul. So Shaile, would you like to say anything very briefly about how music can help you initially?
Yes, for sure, because sound is a very direct transmitter of frequency, and it affects positively the vibration or vibration. It's really easy to benefit from. We just have to listen and to open ourselves and our heart. Yet the power of sound and the frequencies that come through it is not to be underestimated. It's very real. And so it can help create a little bit of relaxation within, and connect with different intentions, specific healing intentions, be surrounded by a certain type of energy to feel a certain way. So the power of sound is very profound and direct. So it's a very graceful way to kind of just raise the vibration and relax, which helps go into the heart.
And can you briefly share, because she plays the flute and it's a very sacred instrument, you know more about that. So can you share how the flute can
Yes,
also help you align with your
yes,
soul?
sure. The flute is a very mystical instrument and always has been since the very beginning of times. Even in ancient Greece, ancient Egypt, people were using the flute to communicate with the dead. So it was really, it's like the voice that kind of crosses the veils. And it can have high frequencies, it can go very high, which has a very deep impact on the field. Of course, what I create are many, 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 many layers of one flute playing um, above each other. So you will hear a choir of flute, but it's like a singing voice. And I love the fact that I didn't know that at I started, but it's been really used since the beginning of times to communicate with the higher realms, I would say.
Yeah, with the other
Yeah,
side.
with the other side, yes.
Yes, amazing. Okay, so the other thing about this age we are in, the age of Aquarius, is that it is the age of universal spirituality. And that's what we teach in our community. Whether you have a Buddhist background or Christian background or Hindu background or any type of connection with Source, you're welcome to this community, because we cover all of that and beyond. And it's the age when we will find unity and integration. So humanity has been exploring its connection with Source in different ways. But now is a time when we can all get together respecting our personal communion with God Creator, and we can bring all that into the same community and container and nourish our souls through all those teachings and understandings, and respect the different ways in which we connect. So this is an age of unity and integration. And it's an age of less doing and more presence. We're all being called to return to the I am presence, our God self. Yes? So it's not an age where we have to do so much, even spiritually. Like we don't have to do a million practices and a million hours of meditation. We have disciplines, of course, that are very beneficial, but it's more creating the alignment with our presence. And then as we know how to step into our presence, I call that the flow of creation. The presence is the flow of creation. Then we start creating from the flow, without pushing, without struggling, without having to do things we don't believe in just for money. Okay. So we are stepping into that silent flow of creation. You can call that the Tao also, right? The Tao. So all our tools are to help you in that direction. And also because most of the spiritual practices and traditions have been helping humanity to transition from what we call the Dark Age. The Dark Age was the representation of our disconnection from Source. We forgot that we are divine beings and we have a threefold flame in the heart, a divine spark in the heart. And so that was the dark age for humanity, with a lot of selfishness and separation and projections and suffering, basically. And we are moving into this golden age. Golden means divine, right? It's the age of divine potential. But most of the spiritual traditions really supported the transition from the dark or the darkness to the light. But that's not the end of the story. We have to complete the alchemy. We have to balance karma. We have to learn how to serve to do that. But basically, what we need to receive is codes of creation. And that's what we share in this community, codes of creation to prosper in higher frequencies of light. In other words, those realms where everything is possible. So we teach basically two things: how to complete the alchemy so that we can empty all the shadow aspects and turn that into light. But once we are more connected to our God presence, how do we actually create in higher frequencies? And for that, we have light codes. We will practice a few today, okay? And that's very important. So we know that even in world religions, there's truth in them. There's a certain level of truth in religion, but they don't give us the codes of creation. Yeah. Most of them are very limited and limiting. So as we do the alchemy, we also have to have the excitement of, okay, how do I create the enlightened reality? This enlightened activity I was talking about before. Yeah. And a big challenge in the age of Aquarius, and that's why we are building community, is that we have to turn isolation into interaction. Have you seen that in the previous ages? People went to caves, or they stayed at home, or they did things individually. We have a strong memory of that still, strong records of isolation and running away from people and being on our own because we feel safe in that way, but it's not really safe. So we have to turn all that into interaction with others. Active participation to amplify the light and benefit all sentient beings. So do you all feel that you have those records of isolation? I want to be on my own. Sometimes even kind of depressive patterns or wanting to run away and not share with anybody, because most people have the feeling, the idea, sometimes the experience that human beings are hurtful and we want to run away from others because we are afraid of being hurt. But that's not the answer in the age of Aquarius. We have to overcome all that trauma and separation and slowly, incrementally opening the heart, learning to trust and surrender humanity, not lose hope in humanity, okay? Because unless we all get together to amplify the light, this golden age will not happen, okay? It depends on us. There's a potential of a golden age for humanity, but we have to do something about it, okay? It's not a given thing. So I want to ask for the ones who are older students in our community, they can start sharing, but we want everyone to get involved because I'm assuming that you're all doing spiritual practices of some sort and meditating or connecting with source in some way. Sometimes we tend to focus on negativity and things not working, and we see all this pressure of what's going on in the world, and we become disappointed because we might not see the advancement of humanity, but we are making progress, okay? So I want a few of you to share what signs of progress you are perceiving in your own personal or family lives or community lives. What disciplines are beneficial to you right now? And how can you build more momentum to have more enthusiasm and not get caught up in the negativity of humanity and what we sometimes see in the news or what's going on in the world, and focus on the light? There's so many nice things happening. There's an activity of the light, okay? Many communities bringing more light into the world. So who would like to start from our old students? So what are the signs of progress? And you can maybe share individually in your life. Kina?
So signs of progress. In all honesty, for me, it all started with intense anxiety. So it was about figuring out to bring myself to a place of neutrality, where everything that was going around me wasn't pulling me in 10,000 different directions or pulling me out of my center. So all the tools that Gaitana Yantal have brought down from the Ascended Masters have been of huge, huge help. Things that used to trigger me before, I can just basically accept them and look at them as an observer, but always kind of being in my center. So always feeling the power of my light and the love in my light and feeling safe. So safety is no longer something that I seek outside. It's something I find inside. Also, and as I find it inside, I also get to, at this point in my life, I want to do more soul nourishing activities and be around those that are doing the same work, which is hugely beneficial. So I can continue to get to know my soul. Our soul is the part of us that we've ignored all our lives. And it's in us. It's very quiet. It likes space. It likes distance. It likes pause. It likes silence. And we have grown up in cultures where going into silence and creating a space is not something people do. So, but in that space and in that silence, you find your true self, which is, you know, the codes of your true self and your soul, which then you want to, bring up and connect with your spirit. So that is the journey and become whole again. And it's incredibly rewarding to go and discover your inner universe. You have an inner universe. You're so vast and beautiful inside. Whenever I connect, sometimes I tear up because it's so beautiful. It's the energies inside are just so whole and pure and real. I cannot believe that as a humanity we have shut that down, but it is time to turn it back on. And so that's why we get together to serve this light, to get to know this light, to connect to this light, to nourish from this light. And that's what we do in this space. And so I'm forever grateful to Gaitana Yantal for creating this space for us to do this and for bringing these tools. And they do work. I was as I was one of those people that I needed to see to believe, blah blah blah. As a profession, I'm an auditor, for God's sakes. I mean, I don't believe things just because I have to try them. And I have tried this for a few years and they work. You have to put in the time, you have to put in the effort, you have to embrace the tools. But I am 180% and 80 degrees different from where I was before I started this.
Yeah, so Kira is sharing something very valuable. These containers, which are focused on divine healing, we'll explain what that means. There's silence. We can disconnect from the matrix reality. We have time for introspection. And what Kina said, we become more neutral. Yes. We can see that when we are full of stress or karmic imprints, we are very reactive. Emotionally, mentally, physically, right? So we have a lot of anger sometimes and resentment, and we fight reality and people. So it's very important to start training the soul. It's her nature anyway, but training the soul to go back to that place of neutrality so that we can respond to life, learn, have more compassion in our hearts, be more loving, and have a better life experience, more joy. So any other student who would like to share your experience, Ashaya? And then Shailene.
Well, like Kina, my profession, I'm a business analyst, so I used to be in the mind a lot more, just busy, busy, busy all the time. And what I found out was when I dropped down into my heart and really listened to my heart, I was able to access divine wisdom. And with that, I was able to experience more flow, ease, and grace. And like solutions came to me quickly. Like I didn't have to figure out, I didn't have to strategize, I didn't have to have a plan. I just needed to drop into my heart and align. And what a beautiful gift.
Thank you, Shaya. Shailen, what are your signs of progress?
Well, it's similar to the others, but I realize also there's more trust in my heart over the mind. Of course, it's a beautiful intention to go into the heart, but there's something else. It's something else to trust it and really choose it in every moment. So that I've beginning to sense that I'm able to do that. I trust this voice of my heart, the higher self, of course. And so it made me also realize how in the past fear and control were running the show a lot, you know. And now through a lot of healing practices, what I love is meditation and silence, but also breath work, very powerful, the use of some mantras, and of course the connection with the masters. It's I'm able to hold these parts of me with love rather than judgment. That has been a really big game changer for me, to be able to alchemize this judgment towards compassion and love. And it always starts with the self. So, of course, you don't react to the world and to the triggers, like Kina was saying, the same way. You respond in a new way. And I'm able to take time to pause and breathe and then choose a response that aligns with my heart. Yeah. So that's, for me, that's been a sign of inner alchemy. And through that, I've also noticed I started experiencing moments, more and more moments of genuine peace and clarity, even amidst, challenges or intensity of some situation. And so that's the understanding that I don't, the healing isn't about fixing something broken in me. It's about remembering who I truly am. So, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I've been experiencing.
that's the healing. Going back to the essence, which is luminous. It's a luminous essence, right? Swana, would you like to share briefly?
I mean, there's so much, and everybody has shared so beautifully as well and so comprehensively. But it's inevitable growth, especially when you come into a community like this. And I see it like you're stepping into a car, because in the car, you have to look in all of the mirrors to have clear sight of everything. You have to check your back mirrors, your front mirrors, your side mirrors, everything. And there might be blind spots. That's the beauty of being in a community, is everything is shown. So nothing can be hidden. So the progress that you make, it's quantum in a container like this. So all of us, we have joined maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and we are in many ways unrecognizable to the people that we were right in the beginning. So it is transformational, and it's based in a foundation of love, because you're recovering your true self. And for me, I'm discovering deeper strength, determination, and a devotion that I never knew existed for this path, and a clearer purpose. And so it's just beautiful and exciting, and to see everybody else grow as well. It's wonderful. It's a true feeling of community when you wish well for others and you see their expansion. So it's just beautiful.
And then we see the all is possible in action, right? Because again, if you're watching the news and, watching humanity, it can get disappointing at times because we lose sight of what's actually working for humanity. Simbel, and with this I'll go to the new students connecting today. Simbel, would you like to share?
When I reflect on how I've made progress, it's all about perspective. And I look at life very differently. When something comes up, say in the news, oh, that's interesting. That's just kind of like, oh, a little shadow inside of me that's coming up to be illuminated. Oh, beautiful. I'm so glad that's happening so that it can be illuminated. The light can actually alchemize it. So I see things from a very different perspective, and there's a lot of contrast now that helps me recognize my progress when I have interactions with people I haven't seen for a while, like for several, maybe a year or 2 years. And I'm like, oh, that was the path I maybe would have taken had I not decided to do this differently. And it's a very concrete way to see progress because, oh, I've made another choice. Now I recognize where I'm going. I'm not just stuck in the same pattern, looping over and over and over again, talking about the same things in life, the same issues. My parents died. Okay, how many years ago did that happen? Can we move on from that? And so perspective is really a beautiful gift for me. And that's how I think the progress really shows up when I can look at things very differently and say, oh, right, I remember this happening. I'm looking at it very differently now, how I respond to this kind of situation. Oh, I know my ego, what my ego would want to do. Yeah, okay, thank you, but no, let's try something different this time. We know something different, so let's actually put it into action and see how that works. And it works so differently, and it's able to bring a whole new level, I think, of appreciation to my life and understanding. And the simplest things really bring a lot of joy. And just like, wow, it didn't have to be huge for me to see that's progress.
Good. So then you say there's choice. With more awareness, there's choice.
Absolutely.
Okay, you're not a victim or a slave to your mind. Beautiful. So I want to hear from the ones who are joining us today for the first time. You can use a chat box if you prefer. How would you know that you're making progress from wherever you're at right now, spiritually speaking, or in your life? How would you know what your next step is and how you have accomplished a little bit more on a soul level? So what would be your signs of progress? It's good to have that, because otherwise we don't know if we're actually growing and expanding or not. Yes. So how would you know you're not looping? There's soul advancement. There's a breakthrough. If you would like to share that, Yoni.
Hi. First of all, I just want to thank everybody for sharing. I know I'm growing because I'm here. I was on this spiritual path, this journey for 2 years. I changed my entire life. All my friends have left me behind, and family members are scared of a lot of my changes. But I really was looking for a community for so long, and for people that could speak my language. It's scary out there when you're talking, and people, they love you and they're strangers, but my old people just don't understand how I talk. Everything is God to me, and every person's the same as me. So I'm just grateful to be here, and I know this is a real sign for me of growth to be here, because it's scary to put myself into a new place with new people. So
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So thank you for taking that step. We honor that. Thank you.
May I say something to?
Yes, though we prefer the new students to interact a little bit more. But yes, you can say something, Kina.
Yeah, to Yoni, I have to say that as you work on yourself, this is what I saw in my life. As you work on yourself, you start being kind of a light that uplifts everybody around you. And after a few years of doing this, I have seen my husband join the group, my parents join the group. It doesn't happen to everyone, but it is evidence that as you grow and you expand your light, you kind of awaken the people around you. And so you kind of end up helping everybody who's related to you in a magical way.
Great. So I see Donna here saying, I will know when I'm breathing all the time instead of consistently holding my breath and dealing with things from a fight or flight situation. Beautiful. We're actually going to do a sacred breath practice today. So very briefly, today we're focusing on joy. how to step into those higher frequencies of joy. And for that, of course, we have to empty a little bit of fear and anxiety and self-condemnation and all these things. So first of all, what is joy? Let's define joy, because it's very difficult to embrace something we are not clear on. Sorry, there's someone else saying situations are always unpredictable. I identify progress by simply looking on the positive side. Beautiful. Absolutely. So what is joy? And how can we connect with more joy in life while we are doing the alchemy and the spiritual work? Because it seems to be contradictory, right? I'm going into my shadow and clearing all these things, and do I get to be joyful at the same time? Yes, of course. That's why you do the alchemy. So what is joy? Joy is not, let's start by what it is not. Joy is not having fun. Most people know how to have fun in the world, right? But they're not joyful. Joy is not euphoria or adrenaline or doing wild things so that you feel the excitement inside, right? And all this energy inside. Joy comes from inner connection. So the deeper you connect with your soul, the deeper you connect with your true self, the more joy you will experience. Because joy is something natural. It doesn't come from outside. It's a state of consciousness. When you have purified yourself enough from all the ancestral patterns and the self-punishment and, again, all the shadow, and you can just feel the connection. Joy is feeling the connection with Source. Is finding God within. That can start like 1 minute per day, maybe then 5 minutes, till then it becomes a permanent experience. Yeah. So most people are not getting to this permanent experience of joy, and it can be permanent, I'm telling you. It's not going to happen overnight, but it can be permanent. We have to focus on what doesn't change, what is real, what is permanent in us. So does the body stay the same all the time, the physical body? No, right? So we can't derive joy from the physical body. Can the emotional body be the same all the time? Probably not, right? Emotions come and go. Can the mental body be permanent? No, that's the impermanent bodies, right? So we have to find something permanent in us. In our community, we call that the presence, the God self, divinity, your real self, your higher self. And we have to go back to that connection because it's the only thing that doesn't change. And even after we pass, people say die, but I don't believe in death. After we pass to the other realm, what do we take? We don't take the physical body, obviously, right? We take the attainment, the light we have cultivated, all the love that we have cultivated, right? So love is permanent, light is permanent, the real self is permanent. The more we spend time with our real self, the more joyful we are going to be. We think we are going to be more joyful if we have more money, if we live in better places, if we have 1 million friends. Joy cannot come from the outside because reality is impermanent. It's an illusion, okay? So it has to come from within. And for that, we have to be willing to move beyond the illusion of material success. Humanity at large has fallen into the trap of material success, thinking if I have more things, I'll be happier. But have you all tried that? This does not mean that you don't have to live in beautiful places. We do live in a beautiful place, and we have a beautiful place here for retreats. But the whole point is that material success cannot be the goal of life. It's not the accumulation of possessions or thinking that if I live in certain areas of the planet, I'll be better or worse. We came here to master the physical plane, not to attach to matter. So humanity is suffering from attachment to matter. We think that's the solution. That's what I'm saying, right? We think matter is the answer. The more I accumulate, the more degrees I have, the more cars I have, the more friends I have, then I will be fulfilled. Then I will realize God. I know that comes from within, right? So I'm going to ask everyone a question to really identify if you are attached to matter and you think that's the answer, or you're really, really spiritually oriented, because you know the answer comes from God, source, creator. Are you looking for truth, or are you looking for comfort? Honestly, wherever you're at is okay. Are you looking for truth, or are you looking for comfort? And we have this formula in our community. We say that we focus on the 90% in our community, not the 10. What is the 10 and the 90 for us? 10% is what most of humanity is focused on. Comfort, well-being, but very superficial forms of well-being, right? Just physical body, not being stressed, like the minimum, right? And all the physical linear answers. That's the 10% for us in this community. So then I do certain well-being practices, I eat healthy food, I have a healthy reality around me, etc. So that's a 10%, very important. But what's in the 90%? Spirit, God, grace, faith, all the spiritual virtues that we have to cultivate. So most people think that they will realize themselves just because they have been focusing on that 10% of reality. Yeah? But the answers are in the 90%. And for that, we have to have the spiritual disciplines to start awakening the wisdom of the heart. Yes, the wisdom of the heart. And that inner guidance that will tell us what to do, what not to do, what is a real benefit. Because in the 10%, there can be a lot of dogma. These easy answers for complex challenges. And it's not coming from that. I see so many people eating the right food and having the lotus posture in meditation. Are they advancing on the path because they do that? No. Yes, because they have fallen into dogma, thinking that they are solve their path, their life, just by doing the right things, right? Unless we really connect with the higher self, which is very quantum, we will not get the answers. We will just behave properly and do the right things, but not advance. Yes? So that's why connecting with the higher self is so important. And we find in our experience, after so many years of leading communities and people, that the answers are not linear. Yeah? It's not being the good student and intellectually formulating a path forward of all the things that you have heard work or don't work, or copying others or imitating others. You have to awaken the wisdom of the heart. And that's what we teach initially in our community. So let's go into the practices to exactly do that, okay? We have one of our foundational practices is the sacred breath. So Simbel will be leading that. So I won't introduce much more than this. Simbel, if you can take it from here.
The sacred breath is one of my favorite practices. And, so many times when I started to do it, I thought, why is this sacred? And I would think about how humans can live for 3 weeks without food. We can live 3 days without water, give or take. But the average is 3 minutes without the breath. And there's so little attention that is put on the breath. And I was trained as a wind player. I played clarinet, and so I was always very aware of my breath when I played my instrument, but not when I was out in the world and in life. And so I really learned through this practice, Enlightened Education taught me about the sacred breath, was how incredibly important it is to really focus on our breath and what it can do in terms of calming my central nervous system, putting me in that state of connection with my higher self and with my heart. And it works so fast. That's the part I love about it. I was just sharing it with somebody last night, and like within a minute, all of a sudden she was calm. And it was beautiful to see it. And I use it all the time. Originally, I would start with my eyes closed, but you can use it with your eyes open whenever you need just a moment of peace and calm and clarity. So the part about the sacred breath I think is important is because it's a 4-step breathing exercise, referred to as the square breath or box breathing, which many of you may already be familiar with, where you inhale to the count of 4, you hold your breath to the count of 4, you exhale to the count of 4, and then you hold your breath again to the count of 4. It's these holding periods that are really where the magic happens. But as we inhale, we say a mantra silently to ourselves that I receive. And what we're going to receive is the light of God. So one of the important things to establish before you begin the sacred breath is knowing that you are light and you're a pillar of light, that we are a pillar of light. We have cosmic light that streams down from source through our bodies into the earth. And so always connecting to that and receiving that light is really an important part of this process. So we'll silently say as we inhale, I receive. When we hold, we alchemize. And when we exhale, we return. And then when we hold again, we re-encode. So the whole idea is, well, what are we receiving? What are we returning? Whatever it is in this moment that we want to bring in. Oh, I'm feeling a little anxious. Oh, I'm upset. I'm angry. Oh, that makes no sense. Like I'm puzzled. I'm like, what's going on? I'm confused. Whatever it is. Oh, I feel a little ashamed because of whatever was just said. Whatever that emotion is, that feeling that's coming to you, we can bring into our pillar of light, and then we can use this sacred breath to alchemize it. So if you want to just take a moment and close your eyes and just connect to this pillar of light that runs from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. You can extend it now, bringing the light down from source into your body, bringing it down through your feet to the heart of the earth, and bringing this cosmic light back up again. And just know it's in constant motion, ascending and descending. Now just bring into your awareness and bring it into your heart, whatever it is you'd like to transform, what you'd like to alchemize in this moment. And just take a deep breath. And now we'll begin. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2. Now we'll say the affirmations. I receive. I alchemize. I return. I re-encode. I receive. I alchemize. I return. I re-encode. I receive as I inhale. I alchemize as I hold. I return as I exhale. I re-encode as I hold. I receive. alchemize. I return. I re-encode. I'll do one more time. I receive. I alchemize. I return. I re-encode. Just hold that breath a little bit longer if you can. Now take a deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
As you slowly come back, remember what Simbel introduced. Breath seems to be something so simple because we all breathe on a daily basis, but not consciously. But conscious breath, sacred breath, when we know that we are starting this process of alchemy, transmutation, shifting of energies, purification. Alchemy is purification, for a simpler word. It really goes deep. It goes on a cellular level. We start clearing on a cellular level, okay? And we start clearing patterns. So we receive, and you can choose the energy you want to receive each day for more balancing. So as Simbel was saying, suppose you're angry, so maybe you can receive more neutrality or more peace. So I receive neutrality, alchemize when I hold. I return all the reactivity and the anger, and I hold again. Simbel said, what happens when we hold the breath, and we do that twice? That's a moment of absorption of energy. Why do we need to absorb energy? When we absorb cosmic energy, energy of light, pure energy, that goes to the chakras, our energy centers. And that's what we need to live, actually, okay? So the breath is connected to the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit, the Maha Chohan, who is the representative of the Holy Spirit on earth, he's the one giving us the first breath when we are born, and he takes the last breath when we, quote unquote, die, we pass to the other realm. So we actually, when we are breathing consciously, we are connecting with the Holy Spirit. So it's very profound. We're receiving energy. We are replenishing the chakras. Are you all familiar with the chakras, the energy centers? And that's how we function spiritually. That's how we nourish the soul. So we feed the physical body with food and water and drinks. But then the soul needs light. That's what we do when we are meditating, but also when we are breathing consciously. If we don't have enough energy in our chakras, then the healing process, the divine healing process cannot start because there's not enough light to start swallowing up the darkness. Yes, we can't do the alchemy without conserving light. So the moments of holding the breath are for absorption. If you become conscious that you are taking in light that goes to the chakras, you're preserving that light, then you will discipline that light so that you know how to use it and invest it, then you will heal faster. Humanity is not healing fast enough because there's not much absorption of light. Sometimes people meditate, but they squander the energy right away. Okay? So then there's nothing we can work on or multiply inside to do the healing. So any questions about the sacred breath, the tool in itself, or any sharings? How did you feel when you were doing that? You will feel that sometimes the mind starts racing. It was always racing. You're just more aware of all the craziness inside. Only when you stop, you have enough contrast. And then you start valuing a little bit more peace, community, and all these teachings. Because yes, humanity is crazy right now, right? The pace is very, very fast. So would anyone like to share your experience with the sacred breath? Could you connect? Maybe not the first time, it's okay. You'll see the value of breathing consciously, especially when you are doing these intentions, affirmations, as you go through the breath, because you will be receiving something and returning something to Alpha Omega, to Source, for deeper purification.
That's us calm down too.
Can you say that again, Michael, please?
It makes you calm down as well.
Okay, good. Yes. So, by the way, when you're doing the sacred breath, it's better if you're sitting down, not lying, just because we have the chakras all along our spine. So if our spine is erect and the breath and the light is coming down from the crown chakra, down the pillar of light to the base of the spine, it's better, to be breathing that way. Of course, if for any reason you cannot sit down, you can lie down and it will also work, right? But if you can verticalize yourself, that's better. Donna is asking, my throat chakra is blocked and I can feel it. What's the dummy word for alchemize? Transmute, shift, purify. Turn something dense into something lighter, or the shadow into the light. Thanks for asking. And Fatima is saying, my toes extended spontaneously. Well, you will see that when you start breathing consciously, you start kind of relaxing and stretching, and you're not so contracted, right? Someone will say, I can breathe again. All the tension, all the anxiety, all the stress, is flushed out of the body. So it's a beautiful practice. So are you all clear on how to do the sacred breath so that you take this tool and you do it on a daily basis? Preferably in the morning, because you start the day energized, or in any moment of tension when you want to release all the anxiety. So that's one of our foundational tools. Sounds simple, but it's profound in its effects. And the other foundational tool that Swana will introduce now is the forgiveness prayer. I was mentioning before that we have accumulated along so many incarnations, the soul has a journey, and we have accumulated so much trauma and fear and limiting patterns. We have accumulated karma. Yes, karma just means cause and effect. It means that we have misqualified energy, and it's coming back for us to purify that, because it's our responsibility to purify all the energy God has given us to create reality. So what do we do with these karmic records? And the karmic records explain why we don't move forward in life. It's those deeper blockages that no matter what we do and how positive we are, things don't shift sometimes. That is because there's karma and ancestral energy involved. So Swana will explain what this forgiveness prayer is all about, how we give it. And Kina, could you type in the forgiveness prayer in the meantime for people to have it when we do the practice? Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Gaitana. Before I go into the forgiveness prayer, as Gaitana was mentioning about the karma, and so she's also mentioned about the violet flame. And in a simple way of looking at the use of this prayer is that we are alchemizing shadow into light. And with the use of this beautiful prayer, it pierces through the shadow on our behalf because it is divine technology, and it assists with that alchemy. And in a sense, it's making life very easy for us, because all we have to do is go into that momentum of saying this beautiful forgiveness prayer. And this prayer has been given to Gaitana Yantal by Saint Germain. So it is a divine tool that we have been given. And within it, there are layers. So you will find the more that you use it, because it's divine technology, it's going to pierce and go into records. It's going to go into karma. And you might get visions of things the more that you use it. There might be deeper memories or feelings or emotions that come up over time. And so just know this beautiful prayer is doing the work for you on your behalf. It's doing the alchemy. It's going in there. It knows exactly what you're ready to experience or move into, and it just brings it up to be released. So there's nothing to fear because it is divine and it just goes in and it does the purification on your behalf. And it's linked with the violet flame. So again, this is within the layers of this prayer, that flame is part of it. So it's a whole package, it's a whole tool. And the more that you use it, the deeper it goes to transmute and to alchemize everything. So it's very simple what we have to do, but just know that by you taking responsibility and doing this prayer continually, then you're moving into those karmic spaces within yourself. And you're doing yourself a huge service because there might be many lifetimes where we've never addressed these things. And finally, we are ready because we are maturing as souls. And so only by facing the karma and addressing that and using this violet flame do we begin truly on our ascension journey. So it's a huge gift that we have been given. And when we use it, then we can make progress on the path. So I shall share the prayer with you once before we start saying it again, and I'll say it 9 times, but I'll say it for the first time just for you to be able to hear it. There are lots of codes in it. There are many layers to it. So you just begin to understand the nature of the prayer itself. So it is, I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. So there are many layers there, but it's the beginning of you beginning to forgive yourself because there's so many layers of resentment, hatred, confusion, loss, grief, so many frequencies in there. And this is a beautiful way of starting that deep, loving process of yourself. So it's extremely healing, but again, it's a divine healing. It's divine alchemy. So it's up to you. You can close your eyes and feel into the frequencies of this prayer while I say it on your behalf 9 times, or you can say it with me in your own way as well. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator.
You can take a deep breath, visualize the violet flame around you. The violet flame is a physical flame in the sense that it penetrates the atoms of being. It can penetrate matter. That's why it can go into our subconscious records to create more liberation, to empty our subconscious of all the pain, all the suffering, all the unworthiness. We don't need that. That's not our true nature. We are all divine beings, but we have to truly remember and embody that. Not just as a concept, we have to become who we are. And we have the help of the violet flame. How the violet flame works is it starts clearing all these records of conflict and disharmony from disembodiment backwards. If you don't believe in reincarnation, just take this lifetime. It's going to start from the most recent memories or things you created or experienced, going to your childhood, okay? From the present to the past, if you will. From the fresher records to the forgotten records, right? So sometimes we ask, why are things not happening in life? Why am I struggling with this or that? Why am I looping and creating these repetitive patterns? In general, the answer is karma that we created. I want to clarify that karma does not mean punishment. Most people think karma is being punished by God. Karma just means we planted certain causes that we set in motion. So we set certain causes in motion, and then we have the return of that energy for us to experience what we have created. So if I send out anger into the universe, that will come back to me multiplied. Just for me to experience anger. Does it feel good? Do you want to keep on doing that? No. Okay, stop doing it. If I am the source of love and generosity, that will come back to me also multiplied. And do you like generosity? Yes, keep on doing it. So karma is a teacher. It teaches us what we want to be doing and what we want to stop doing because it's not beneficial, because it hurts, okay? Because it means we are misqualifying God's energy. So karma really teaches us mastery of energy. What is beneficial, what is not beneficial, that's all. If we take responsibility for the karma, it means I take responsibility for what I sent out into the universe and it's now coming back. The healing journey can be very exciting and easy. If we resist the teachings of karma, then we will become very miserable because we are fighting our own destiny. We are fighting our own creation, right? Instead of learning from it. So God does not punish. There's not a punishing God. That's only the ego that punishes, right? So karma comes as feedback. You know what feedback is? It has to come back. It's information that comes back to me for me to explore myself, my way of being, and know if I want to continue being the same way or not. That's all it is. Since we are talking about divine healing, the Ascended Masters have said that all the causes of dis-ease, and this is not just the physical body we're talking about, dis-ease is the lack of ease, the lack of harmony in the physical body, mental body, emotional body, etheric body. All forms of disease are karmic. This is Ascended Master teachings. All forms of dis-ease, all disharmony in any of our bodies, I repeat, physical body, emotional body, mental body, spiritual, etheric body, are the causes of karma. This is amazing because if all disease is karmic, if we have the tools such as the violet flame to go into the causes, the patterns of karma and dissolve them, then all types of dis-ease can be transmuted. Can they be transmuted in a day? No. Not because that's not possible. It's because we would resist the healing, because we wouldn't believe we can be forgiven, and we wouldn't believe that things can go fast, and we don't believe all things are possible. So we have to connect more with our higher self-consciousness for that. But the potential is there, because karma is just energy. It's not something you have to carry forever and ever and ever. That's the good thing about karma and dharma, which is the purpose, right? So if the causes of everything we are experiencing are energetic, they are energy, we know that energy can be molded. It can be changed. So then all is possible, yeah? So we don't have to be stuck in any condition, whether it's a health condition or financial condition or spiritual condition or in relationships. Everything can change if we know how to alchemize, transmute energy. Yeah? And that can take a while because we create habits. So why don't we heal faster sometimes? It's not because the light of God is not powerful. It's because we have strong habits. And we are stubborn, and who can say you're not stubborn a little bit? We're all stubborn, and raise your hand. We fight things, right? We don't want to learn. We don't want to change. We insist on things that don't work. So, okay, we can be grateful about that. The violet flame can also work with the stubbornness till we really believe what's possible with the grace of God, okay? So right now we'll go into our circle of healing mentors. These retreats, we have invoked other masters. Today we'll go to Archangel Rael, but for you to have the complete circle of healing mentors that we mentor with. So we've got Master Hilarion there on the top. He gave us the gift of truth, And again, you can go back to the previous All is Possible online retreats on YouTube. Then we moved on to Green Tara and Amoghasiddhi. They are Buddhas, and they gave us the gift of fearlessness. Then we invoked the Holy Family. In one of the retreats, they gave us the gift of divine love. Last time it was the Medicine Buddha, another Buddha, for the gift of resourcefulness, knowing that we have resources inside. There's always a solution. There's always a way out of challenges. And today, we will be invoking Archangel Rael. He's the Archangel of the Ray of Healing. In the Ray of Healing, we have an Archangel Rael, and the Archei, the feminine counterpart, is Mother Mary, our beloved Mother Mary. She's considered to be an Archaea, a feminine archangel, right? So today we invite all of you into this healing circle. So just visualize you are surrounded by these masters. So it's just a drawing, but it's real. So before you, there's Master Hilarion. To the right, you can visualize Green Tara and Amoghasiddhi. Behind you, the Holy Family. The Holy Family would be Jesus, Mother Mary, and Joseph. That's Saint Germain, the master we were talking about. The Medicine Buddha to your left. And at the center of this healing circle, Archangel Rael. He's going to give us today the gift of deep healing. What is deep healing? It's soul healing. And the soul is the inner child. So it's inner child soul healing. When the soul is fragmented, she does not have all the power to rise. She's debilitated, she's weakened. So when the soul is fragmented, the inner child is fragmented, torn, traumatized, it means that it is stuck in cycles of suffering and abuse. And though we know better and we know we deserve loving relationships and experiences, we can't really choose them. Yes? Because we are looping in those lower realms of energy. That's called the astral plane, the astral body. So we know we don't like abuse. We know that we want to love ourselves. We want more healthier and relationships and environments. But sometimes what happens, though we know we want that and deserve that, we can't have the energy to choose that because the soul is trapped. So today we'll ask Archangel Rael to transfer light into your hearts. So you can visualize green light, emerald green light. But before receiving that fully, connect with your soul, connect with your inner child. Let them speak and ask them what they need. So what do you need, inner child? What do you need, soul? How can I pay more attention to you? Why are you sad or angry or still disconnected? What are you longing to receive? What do you know it's possible, but karma is not allowing you to embrace that? What would deep healing look like for you today? What do you desire to receive and what for? So take a few moments to connect with your healing intention, which can be the one that you shared at the beginning of this retreat, or you can refine it now that you're more connected. And know that you're in the presence of ascended master healers, healing mentors from the realm of light. They have no limitation, they have no judgment. They heal beyond space and time. And Archangel Rael is wanting to transfer a portion of his light, this green healing light, into your hearts. But for that, we will have to open the heart more. So So I'll just give you a moment to inhale and exhale green light. So you will inhale the green light and exhale toxicity. You can visualize maybe a black light representing like black smoke that represents impurities, toxicity, fear. So you inhale the green light, goes to all your chakras, energy centers along the spine. And you exhale black smoke, representing the karmic patterns that you want to let go of today. The light of the archangels is very powerful, but of course they will respect your free will and the karmic laws. So you'll just receive all the healing that you can receive today. It always works. So receive more of the green light. Allow the green light to go into the recesses of your consciousness, to the dark places that want to receive more light from the Creator. Let go of all resistance and stubbornness and separation. You deserve the light, you deserve healing. And maybe today it can be spiritual healing, it can be mental healing that you need, it can be emotional or physical, or all of the above. As we don't know what we need most often, we just allow God Creator to give us what she thinks is more beneficial for us today. So just keep the alignment with the green light. And now ask yourselves, what would you love to see more of in this world? Or at least in your reality? And write down 3 things. 3 things you would love to see more of in your world or reality. And think in terms of relationships and people and humanity. What type of dynamics between people would you like to see more of? How would you have people to show up in your reality? Maybe it's more generosity, more patience, more understanding, deeper connection, more abundance, more faith, more prosperity, more flow. Just 3 things that are dear to your heart. And now remember that the world is your mirror. So whatever you're asking other people to be or become, you have to cultivate that within first. You want more generosity? Be more generous. You want more peace? Be more peaceful. You want more flow? Flow more. Yes, because life is just a mirror. So why do we need the mirrors? Precisely for this, to understand what we want more of, how we can evolve our reality by becoming what we desire. So take those 3 things that you listed there to your heart. So the Archangel Rael can amplify those patterns, creative light patterns. And it becomes easier for you to be that all the time, regardless of how other people show up in your reality, how they are choosing to be or not to be. So now the green light goes to those three causes of creation: what you want to cause, what you want to plant, what you want to become. And you become stronger in those three virtues. So the green light will expand those spiritual virtues. I will start dissolving the shadow aspects of those virtues. And see that the green light goes into your family mandala, your family circle, and then to your communities, humanity, Gaia, planet Earth, other planets and systems of worlds, and to the entire cosmos. Allow the green light to heal everyone, uplift everyone, and remind every soul in embodiment that all is possible. So that we all have the courage to challenge our current conditions. Don't feel that because we are having a certain life experience right now, it's going to last forever. Everything can be transformed. And for that, we'll concentrate now on the mantra that is around the healing circle on screen: truth above all else. Truth above all else is the mantra that Master Hilarion gave us. Truth above all else. Reconnecting the soul with the desire, the longing for truth. And allowing all of your parts, all of your frequencies to choose the truth of who you are. To wake up from the collective dream of suffering, from the illusion of suffering, so that you connect with the truth of the Creator, Creatrix. Truth above all else. Let's chant this silently so that you create the alignment with truth. We are just suffering because we have forgotten the truth, our divinity, our potential as divine creators. Truth above all else. I'm going to choose the truth in every moment. I'm going to challenge the lie of the ego to stop suffering, to stop being identified with a small self that is limited and has problems and is struggling and has a defeat mindset and the poverty mindset. I'll break through all that to connect with my victory consciousness. Always victory. Truth above all else. You're giving your soul the permission to seek that truth. The truth that will set her free, as Jesus said. The truth shall set you free. Truth above all else. Truth is the foundation of divine healing. Allow the green light to anchor in your heart. We are still surrounded by these ascended masters. Even if you can't see them, they are here in vibration. And we want to share just one more tool with all of you today. Our main technology is what we call the 33 light codes. Remember I said we need codes to create in the light? So the 33 light codes representing the Christ consciousness. Christ does not mean Jesus, the person Jesus. Christ means the anointed one. So we can all be anointed beings, Christ beings, and it's what Jesus came to teach us. You're all like me. We're all brothers and sisters. It's just that he was victorious before us because he purified himself before and he got to the truth before, and he left a legacy of truth for all of humanity, the same as all the avatars. So the 33 light codes are ways in which we start activating our higher self consciousness. Why do we do this? Because we have this inner child, this soul that wants to rise. The soul has been traumatized, and the soul is not yet immortal because it's lost. So she has to be held by the higher self. The higher self is the mature adult in us, right? So you parent your soul and you give her codes. The codes will start reminding the soul of her path of liberation, of her path of mastery. Yes? So we teach those 33 light codes in Master Your Destiny. It's a program, a course that we offer, and then our life mentors will share about that for the ones who are serious about liberation and want to support your soul, become liberated. But for today, we'll just share one light code. We'll go to the first one. In the All is Possible online retreats, we shared 3 of them already. You can go back, but for today, let's just concentrate on one. And the first one is, I am enlightened consciousness. Every light code sounds very simple. It's a volume of wisdom, I always say. And it starts reminding your soul of who you are, of your real self, of your real destiny, of your real purpose here. So it starts helping you disconnect from the small self, the personality that is suffering, to find the light within you, to awaken the light within you. Every light code comes with an affirmation that just tells you what you start awakening within when you meditate with these light codes. And the affirmation for the first one is, I am ready to align with my soul purpose and to access the resources that will allow me to evolve with ease and grace. The important thing is the light code. But what the affirmation is saying, I am ready to align with my soul purpose. People think they are here just to work and raise children and get married and just do the traditional thing. And we don't sometimes give ourselves permission to pursue our spiritual path. We think we are being selfish if we choose that, and we never have time, and we put other priorities before that. So we are giving ourselves permission to break through our ancestral patterning and do what we came to do here on earth, which is to find our purpose and fulfill it. And the second part says, to access the resources that will allow me to evolve with ease and grace. What happens when we start unplugging from the matrix reality? We feel guilty, we have fear, and we have the fear that we won't have the resources because maybe we're not working a job, right? Just to concentrate on our purpose and meditate and do the healing and take a pause to heal and prioritize higher consciousness, right? So it's reminding the soul that if she chooses to align with purpose, she will always be supported. There's many ways in which God supports us to fulfill our purpose. We don't have to necessarily work or do certain things. There's a lot of creativity to navigate reality and to walk the path of the Ascended Masters. So this is the reminder for the soul. I am enlightened consciousness. I can start becoming aware of my life plan, of the light I have within, and I have the permission to dedicate my life to amplify that light. We have all been trained to be hyperactive and do all the time. And we don't have time for contemplation, for inner connection. We don't think it's worth our time, right? And that's how we connect. That's how we ascend daily. Always in balance with our world responsibilities, right? So I am enlightened consciousness. So you activate this like a mantra. You just inhale, exhale, open your heart, open your crown chakra, in the sense that you become very flexible, innocent, open, receptive. And you start chanting the light code, silently or out loud as you prefer. I am enlightened consciousness. This starts the remembrance process. Who am I? What am I here for? I am this body? No, I am enlightened consciousness. I am energy. I can be aware of my energy. Energy has information. So I start connecting with my wisdom as an enlightened, awakened being. I don't have to be asleep anymore. I can wake up to my truth, wake up to my light, wake up to my calling. And now I pay attention to the signals and to the signs around me and to the promptings of my inner self. And I see the value in divine healing. It's the only way out of suffering, out of samsara eventually, the cycle of suffering. I am enlightened consciousness. Energy has no limitations of time or space. So then you will feel that you are more expanded when you give this light code. And then you start remembering at least a few details of your life plan. What's the real purpose of embodiment on earth? I am enlightened consciousness. And you just keep on repeating the light code, not to get distracted. If you see that your physical body is feeling uncomfortable, don't worry, just keep on breathing. If your mind is racing and you realize, oh my God, I'm now aware of all the stress that is inside of me, don't worry. Allow the light code to provide the alignment for you, to center you, to help you focus on the truth of who you are and not the chaos of the world. So you will start taking refuge in your heart, in your inner temple, in your inner truth. I am enlightened consciousness. You can take a deep breath. I encourage you to practice this during the week. So the 3 practices you can combine if you want deep and profound and quick changes is the sacred breath, forgiveness prayer, and the first light code. I am enlightened consciousness. Slowly start coming back. Don't lose the connection. So for the ones who really mean to liberate your soul and start a profound journey of divine healing with us, with this community, I would love our life mentors if you can share a little bit of what Master Your Destiny. It's an ongoing course that we offer where we teach ultimately the 33 light codes for this inner transmutation and conversion to the light. So who would like to share a little bit of what that course is about, what the invitation is? You can start and end it any moment because it's ongoing. Shailene, would you like to say something?
Yeah, sure. So like Gaitana said, it's an ongoing course. You can start a month, you can pursue for more, or you can stop as you wish, and it's flexible. So we try to make it possible for you to connect live with us, one of the life mentors, and we guide you on your healing journey to break free from these patterns that are blocking you and step into your true purpose. So you receive practical tools and practices from us. We started that today. And also profound inner child soul healing, because it's at the foundation. You also learn how to take refuge in the heart, so anchor into the heart, because the goal is to start functioning from it instead of the mind. Yeah. So we start shifting from the limitations of the mind to the wisdom of the heart center. We learn how to access this voice. So with this ongoing support from us, you start to build real momentum, to raise your vibration, accumulate more light, like Gaitana was explaining the immense importance of that, and to then start creating lasting peace, lasting joy, lasting change, yeah, and align surely with your soul path. So of course, you can start anytime, you grow at your own pace, but we create momentum, and we do activate the 33 light codes to really ignite this inner wisdom in you and start living from the heart. So we hold space of unconditional love. There's no judgment, there's only compassion, and there is deep, deep listening to you. So if ever one of the two others want to share more.
Yes, and one thing before Shailene, Suana and Simbel share, all our life mentors are offering free introductory sessions, or more than one if you need that, just to get to know them, know if this is the path for you and how you can prepare for Master Your Destiny. Yes, so Shailene is located in Germany. Then Suana is in Wales right now, and Simbel is in California. So we have different time zones. You can have a free session with them, first of all, to get to know our technology, spiritual technology, create the alignment, get their support. They can share because they've been in our community for a while now, many years training with us, so they can share their experience. And sometimes we need kind of the support from others to make that choice, because there are fears when we step into a community and we start the inner work. So they will support you in that direction. Suana, would you like to share anything else?
Yes, just to say it's a sacred container, and if you feel ready for internal change, because it's all internal, and to have that support, it propels you forward when you're in a container. And before coming into this community, there was a time I thought, oh no, I can do this on my own. I just need to blah, blah, blah. But it's all spiritual ego or ego thinking it's got it, but it doesn't. It doesn't got anything. And here you're given the tools step by step, and you are receiving increments of light as you are ready, to build that momentum up, as Shailene was saying, because our cup is full in the beginning and we don't realise we're full of shadows. So it is step by step, and that's why it's such a loving, compassionate process. And all of us have gone through this. So we know what we are going to discover within ourselves. So, and there's nothing to fear, and nobody's worse or better than anybody else. It's just a process of how willing are we to go deep inside and be courageous and discover what we are capable of as these Christed beings. There's this true potential there within all of us to be these Christed beings. I want to be one of these beings on this planet. I want to be able to serve others and assist them to come into that power within themselves. And so that's what is happening here within this community. That is the potentiality within you. But it does take work and dedication, and there are loving souls here who are already on this journey, who can guide you and support you and love you through the whole of this process. So if you feel that calling in the heart, that you really want to discover your true purpose, yes, but your true potential and what that light within you can bring to the world, then I would say, please consider this deeply.
Yeah. And this is the real deal, because we are talking about ascended master teachings. This is not new age healing, it's ascended master teachings, and we step down the frequency of the masters so that everyone in humanity can receive those releases of light. So that's why we create so much acceleration and deep healing and permanent healing. Permanent healing. Some people are doing other things, which are okay also, but sometimes it's impermanent. Just, you feel excited in one session and you get unblocked from one thing, and that's all you're doing, but it's not permanent because you're not balancing karma. And you don't remember your purpose and what you're here for. So this is kind of the whole curriculum of Ascended Masters for spiritual ascension on a daily basis. Simbel, anything else we can say about Master Your Destiny? It's a weekly course.
Yeah, I just want to add to what Swana was saying about being the Christed being and this second coming of the Christ, our Christ consciousness, and all of us taking responsibility to awaken our Christ consciousness, to embody our Christ consciousness. You know, it's a big buzzword everybody talks about in the spiritual communities, but Enlightened Education is the only place I've found that actually has a very, very concrete way to do this and embodies this beautiful, beautiful Aquarian community. Like, Enlightened Education is the example of what our world needs and what we're becoming more and more of this huge light field. And everybody here today is contributing to that. And everybody has their own personal responsibility to embody their own light more and more. And with the 33 light codes, which are just a beautiful, beautiful gift that Gaitana Yantal birthed, it's a way to do this very simply. It's a very clear path. There are 10 portals that we go through. There are 33 light codes. They all correlate to the spine, 33 vertebrae, the rising of the Kundalini. So it's everything that we hear about in different spiritual traditions, but it's in a very unique way. And what it does is what I found it's done is it's helped me identify my unique frequency. What is my uniqueness? What is it that I have to offer this huge cosmic plan that's unfolding here on Earth right now? And it's very, very different is all I have to say. And it's an experience that once one really steps into it and starts to feel it, you realize this is the way. This is for me. So you either know or you don't know, but we encourage you to at least explore it and to connect with one of us just to see how this resonates with your heart. Do you feel it in your body? Is it something that speaks to your soul? Your soul guided you here today. Obviously, there's a reason that you're here. And we just would love to have more people join in this effort to, it's a movement basically, really, to bring more light to this planet, to help humanity break free from all these bonds that we've been living in, that our ego created, and return to our true self.
Thank you, Simbel, very eloquent. So Yantal has shared there the link if you want to know what this course is about. And again, you can sign up anytime and you cancel your subscription whenever you want. So you can make it a 1 month program, a year program, a lifelong journey, whatever you need. We are there for you. But something I want to say about the 33 light codes is we are Ascended Masters for very practical, concrete, applicable tools, because we know they're all very busy in the modern world. So we wanted something easy. What we find in many communities is that people are mastering techniques more than energy. There are practices that are very complicated in other spiritual traditions. And we end up then taking and using a lot of time to just understand the practice itself, right? Or they are in other languages or encrypted or this or that. So we shouldn't be using time to understand the technology. We have to master energy. So the light codes are just keys that open inner spaces because we are all wise beings, but we disconnected from the wisdom. So we just now need a catalyst for that, right? So the trap is that many people are trying to master complex tools and practices, right? That's not the goal. The goal is that you connect with your heart, right? And then you have this inner guidance to navigate reality. So we have very practical, modern tools, but that come from the Ascended Master realm, okay? So before we end, we want to ask one thing from all of you who connected today. If you can write a testimonial of this experience, doesn't have to be very long, maybe just a few sentences, a paragraph. You can either send your testimonial via email or if you go to our website also, you can leave it on the website or here on the chat now, because that encourages other people to join these free online retreats. That is a safe experience or what you got from this experience. So if you can just take a moment now to make it more practical, and in the chat box, if you can write a short message of appreciation and gratitude. What did you discover? What did you remember? How did you feel being part of this community and container today? I'll leave you a few moments to do that. Anything that can inspire others to join this experience. This helps also you to connect with what you received today and express your gratitude to the Ascended Masters. So for the ones who will catch the replay, Fatima is saying, I discovered the road to me. Jose Luis, thank you very much. It was great to be and feel part of this monthly healing session, and I hope to see you again. We hope to see you again. Fatima says it was an amazing what? I don't read the full message here, but it was amazing. Is there anything in particular that you discovered today by being here? Anything you didn't know before, or maybe that you knew, but you were not valuing, you were taking for granted, and that can now be part of your tools as you advance on your spiritual journey? So the word amazing keeps on popping up. But if you can be more specific as to what was amazing. Yoni, thank you so much for this experience. I felt safe, loved, and inspired. The sacred breath is something that I will take with me. Hold on, there's another message coming through. Take me on my spiritual journey. I will look into the Master Destiny course to see if it's something for me. I'm sure it will be for you. Rita, thank you for this enlightening experience. So we'll give you time to keep on writing, but are there any questions before we end the transmission today? Anything you want to ask us or our life mentors or anyone in our community? Or any sharings?
Can I ask?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I know I'm assuming that if I go on there, I'm going to see the prices and things like that. I'm just going to be brutally honest. I gave up everything for my spiritual journey, everything. People ask me how I'm living, and I don't have an answer for them other than I have 3 children, and it's not easy because I don't know where I'm just being present. I want to know really practically, because I do think that you guys are amazing, and I do think that this is something that I'm just seeking out truth, and it's strange for everyone around me, but that's really just all I want.
Yeah.
But practically speaking, just I need to know for myself, like knowing my situation now, it's just I need it to be practical. So, you know, it's more of like, how is this going to work for me? Because also in the current moment, there's life, the 10%, which I don't, people say I'm not focusing on. And I lost my ground a few weeks ago and I'm back grounding myself, but it's been a challenge.
So what we always say in our community is that to build this healing momentum, first we give our time. So maybe we show up first, like today, we show, you know, then comes the material investment. Just because we have to invest energy in the form of money and resources, there's principles behind that. And then actually comes the shift in consciousness. So when we give our time, resources, and the actual shift, things really change for us, right? But initially, that's why we say they are offering, first of all, they are offering free introductory sessions just to get to know them and know what your vision of transformation is and how to create that action plan for you to move forward. There's a price for Master Destiny, but we also offer partial scholarships. We say partial just because we really believe in the financial investment. Just because we take money from the ego and we invest that in the light, okay? It's not that the masters need the money or we need the money per se. It's just, again, an energetic principle behind that. But there's a partial scholarship also. And I know that Shailen, Swana, and Simbel, even before starting the actual Master Destiny course, they sometimes offer 4 short sessions for the inner child healing. And it starts healing the inner child, then maybe you build the momentum. And then you know that the miracles start happening, because when you align with the light will support you, okay? So if now you have a financial constraint, you have all these options: free session first, partial scholarship, or a few sessions with them before getting started. But give it a go, because once we connect with the light, we had so many cases of people not having even a job or money when they got started, and now they provide for themselves, they have a job, things appear just because you say yes to your purpose, okay? So just connect with any of them, just because you resonate in your heart, or because of the time zone that is more beneficial, and together you'll create a solution, okay? But take the first step, contact one of them, okay? Anybody else? All is possible, Yoni. All is possible. It's a leap of faith at the beginning, right? But we start creating with you, and there's always a way. There's always a way. Anybody else? Any question? Any sharing? Remember to go back to the replay on YouTube, because we share so much in these 2 hours. And again, sometimes the first connection is the album, the music, just listening to the music, or one of our ebooks. They're very affordable. Maybe that's the first step, and the free session with the life mentors. What happens when you connect with a life mentor or with us? You start accessing our aura of light. We have been cultivating light for many, 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 many years. So that's a catalyst, yeah? That's why it's so miraculous. So you're under the aura of your life mentor, and they will also share some of the light that they have accumulated. That's how generous this is. Okay, so thank you. If you have any questions, you can email us at info@gaitanayantal.com. There's our WhatsApp there. You can connect with the life mentors, whatever you need. We are here to serve you. And we would love other people to join us, because it's a joint effort to usher in the golden age. We all have to be in our Christ consciousness to do that. So thank you for being interested in our teachings. Hope to see you back next month for the next online retreat. And if you can do something before that, we welcome that, okay? Be proactive. Many, many blessings. Love you. Bye.